Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, yeah, good afternoon. So, our facilitator today is Ayobami, and he'll be joining us very, very soon. He said to give him a couple of minutes so he can set up, and then he will join us today. But so far, how's the lessons been going? I hope that we've been enlightened in some kind of way from the sessions that we've been having. Has it been so far?
Hi, Chinoye. Good morning. Good afternoon. So the sessions so far have been very educative and they've been very okay and helpful. Okay, but I have a little confusion as to towards the end of the last class where we did regression. So I didn't have the part of under data where I could do the regression. I didn't have it in my Excel sheet. And I think we're told that we're going to do it this class. So I'm just wondering, are we going to start off from there? Because that's the only place I have a confusion on. But the other aspects, I'm fine so far with the classes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So let me ask, were you able to go back to the recording? Were you able to watch the lessons again, the session again?
Oh, yes, I did. That was why I also mentioned that he said if we've not done regression before, we might not be able to do it with our existing Excel sheet. So I wanted to know what I should be able to do to be able to have that, or with this class, then, contain this part, this as the regression, so that we know what to do. Because I couldn't do those analysis. I couldn't do it, as we did the last class.
Okay, so the thing is, this class is different from the previous session. The first two sessions were dedicated to Excel beginners, just to know the basic things about Excel. But this session and the next two sessions, right, is for advanced Excel. But it doesn't mean that because it's advanced Excel, beginners won't learn from it. No, we already know the basics, so we can also catch up with this class and the next two classes. But talking about regression, I hope that you would have understood it if you had gone back to watch, but not to worry. We still have a session with IG, and I'm sure that he'll be able to, he'll be able to explain more about it. Don't worry, we'll address it, please.
I think, good afternoon, everyone. I think where she's having challenges, the data analytics icon is not enabled on her Excel sheet.
Exactly.
I think the issue is how to get it out of the, to set it up on the dashboard. That's where she's having problem. I think it's something that you can quickly do. Actually, it's not a big deal.
Okay, please.
Something you could quickly check and sort it out.
Okay, I'll appreciate that.
I don't know if the person handling the class is already in class.
I said,
I
was saying
hello.
that. Good afternoon,
hello.
Sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I joined, but I'm trying to set up my system. I'm still in transit. I'll be home in the next 10 minutes thereabout. But there's just some, I don't know if there's some other discussions you want to have, but there are also some preliminary discussions I wish we could discuss on this journey to Excel or data analytics.
Okay, sir.
All right. So starting from the setting up, personally, I don't know if we have ever discussed this one. It is important to have a good system I mean good system, I'm talking about the capacity of a system ability to handle stuff without crashing or hanging or slowing you down unnecessarily. So the minimum I usually recommend for this work is in the realm of ICOR 5. I don't know the equivalent version of Mac that will fit into that category for ICOR 5. And I will also recommend RAM of 16 gigabytes. I don't know if we are following. Hello?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay. So in case you don't know, I don't know if I need to show or we discuss where you can check the configuration of your system to know this about this. That is one. Then number two, I also like to talk about the have on our system. Recently, Office, because of Excel, Office just released one kind of this thing, Office 365. And that actually allows us the opportunity to have access to the latest upgrade of Office. The latest, that's a police checkpoint, please, sorry. So the latest upgrade to Office, they do it before. When you buy Office, maybe 2016, you buy the license, everything will be there. You wait for the next upgrade when things will change. But recently, Office changed it to a kind of subscription format. So you have to be paying every year, but with the benefit of you get online updates. So there's one new introduction of Excel, one new functionality in Excel, and that is dynamic arrays. The dynamic array before has been a bit cumbersome, difficult to use in Excel before now, but with Office 365, and I think that is their unique selling point. So I don't know how many of us have Office 365 here. Is it Office 365 or Microsoft 365 or what do they call itself? I don't know how many of us have that presently. Hello? We're about 12 here. Yes, I'm asking about Office 365. Do you have it? Does anybody have it?
I do.
I think I have it. That's what I use, right?
I'm not sure if I have it.
Is 360 different from 365 or what? The one I have here is 360.
Okay, is it 360 or 365? I think it's
365.
Okay.
It's 365.
It's 65.
All right.
The cost of subscription will be somehow, but I think the benefits you enjoy, especially if you really want to use it for your day-to-day work, I will recommend that you invest in it. That's that. Then another thing I want to talk about is most of us using laptop for our work. If you're using desktop, well, maybe you might have a big monitor, but most of us using laptops, the screen size of our laptop is small for handling data analysis. What I do is I just buy, initially I was thinking of getting a desktop, a workstation, but what I do is I just buy an HDMI cable, buy an external a monitor, and connect it. So I'll be able to use dual monitor. It will be as if you are projecting, but you'll be able to have access to two screens at the same time. And for my Excel viewing, I use the monitor, which is very big. So I wouldn't know if anybody has any question along that line, if you have tried it before, or if you want to explore it, any question on that?
Sorry, Ayobami. Sorry, am I speaking to Ayobami, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I hear you, and I think it's good actually you're bringing all of this notice. I guess some of these things are capital intensive, so we'll note it down. And as time goes on, we'll begin to see how we can put money aside to achieve some of this. I know I have a laptop that is I think I can manage. I have Office 365. And I want to believe that would be sufficient until I have sufficient money now to invest in a large screen, which of course would be nice to have. As I said, I'm noting all of this down, right? I don't have such now, but I think it's something that will.
I think I really appreciate that feedback, and that is really what I want to achieve. It might be capital intensive, but I would like to suggest some things. Please don't let me be vulnerable in this case. I mean, we are in the same shoes together. We know what it means. When I talk about a good monitor, checking it online, or even going to the computer village, you need something in the realm of $400, $500. That is nothing less than about 200 just to get the monitor. 200K, 300, 400, 500. It could be as high as $1 million. There's one wide monitor, curved monitor like this that is trending now. So I understand, but I just like to suggest, if you don't mind, and it's something I've done before. I actually went to Computer Village. I got someone and was able to get me some fairly used monitors. You understand? Something that would have cost me, and it's actually serving me. It may not be the best, but it's just, of course, I won't need to spend the realms of hundreds of thousands because I want to have a monitor. That's just that. Then for the laptop, just getting a RAM, it will save you a lot of, even if your computer capacity is low, having a sufficient RAM will boost the capacity so much and we'll be able to achieve what we want to achieve. I have to be vulnerable because I know that might be a limit, a limiting concern or an issue for us. And of course, it is what we need to achieve and we just need to move on with that. So that's that about that. I'll be setting up my system shortly. So I tried to follow up the trend on the first two classes and I was able to see what we have done. I have some topics that I would like us to treat in the next 2-3 classes, and I will share my screen shortly once I set up my PC. But off my head now, I just want to ask, throw it open to us, so we'll be able to go in a more agree on how to approach the discussion. I plan that we'll have a dashboard that will be on the last class, that will be on in 2 Sundays from now. That dashboard will help us to be able to consolidate all the learnings we have. Different things, we'll do chatting, we'll do Power Query, Power BI pivot, data architecture. We'll be able to do some data cleaning. It will be a kind of project where we'll be able to ask questions. It will be a kind of, it won't be a ready data that would have been prepared for you or something that will just be straightforward. So that is my plan. But because we have just 2 classes left. I just want to know which one we should prioritize. For today, the plan I have now are power pivot. Okay, I think we have we done pivot tables?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. I thought we did. Okay. All right. I will touch pivot table. Maybe that's where we will start. I'll touch pivot table. I'll touch data architecture small. Then I will also talk about power pivots. There's a difference between pivots and power pivots. Then I will now dedicate next week to Power Query. I think that should do. Next week will be dedicated to Power Query. So let us do it that way. So give me just less than 5 minutes, please. My system will be up now.
Okay, just a quick question on the monitor you talked about. Do you have like a minimum size of the monitor and the screen size?
And how much? An idea of how much?
Well, when I say price, the last one I bought, can I remember? But when I say relatively, it will be cheaper than you buying a new one.
I'm not talking about the size of the screen. You know, monitor is different sizes. So I'm looking at the screen size that will be more like guide on the, not necessarily the amount, but the size of the screen.
In the realm of 20, what is this monitor I'm using, sir? Maybe I'll check the size.
There's 17 inches, there's 21, there's in that category, 21, 23, 40, that kind of thing.
In the realm of the 20s.
20s. Okay, that's 20s, fine.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
All right. Okay.
Sorry,
so I'm now. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Can I say something?
Please go ahead.
Okay, I think maybe I want to direct this concern to Chinonye, who is who is the president of this club, right? Okay, so I hear you advanced Excel. Some of us don't join this club out of the fact that we needed to align with certain things, and then of course upgrade our knowledge in Excel, which of course is directly related to data analytics. So I started this Embark 28 program. I was doing data analytics, and so I have a big concern with this because of course because of my previous whatever about data analytics or statistics. I have some phobia for it, so that has built up over time, and so I'm looking at statistics and I'm having some challenges with it, right? That is deep-rooted somewhere. Coming to meet it again, I don't have a choice. I have to embrace it. There's no problem. Once I do my personal work to ensure that I get out of that, let me join this club to see whether they can actually still help me get out of that whole problem. Now, at least certain things, data analytics, positional probability, blah, 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 all of that. I was thinking that at some point I was going to marry the Excel issue. Whatever was in Excel, let me prepare the convergence so that I begin to appreciate it more. I know that at some point, all of these theoretical things that we're doing, we'll probably Excel, where we need to mention on Excel. Very aspect that's what that is, and how do we use it? So I think that that's the thing in my head, right? But it's still the theoretical aspect. Wait, I don't know. that so that I don't complete in terms of by joining. So the initial class that I started, not the initial lecture, not the meeting we had, I told guys that you guys that I'm coming as an intern, right? And I don't think I have, of course, my future career, probably, I think I probably like what basic. I'm struggling with this, having to build on what I do. So,
I'm sorry to cut you short, but I'm struggling to hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you.
Can you hear me
better now?
It stays like this.
So sorry to I was saying that I have a challenge with the basics, right? Which probably you want to call theoretical aspect or maybe statistics, building up to data analytics. That is a challenge. And so having to build on it might just more challenging for me. Right? The last two classes I tried to listen, to understand. So when I get into regressions and all of that, of course it's a no for me. I don't know that aspect. Right? So my question is, if this how can into marriage make me appreciate the theoretical aspect. So when I'm actually having to converge Excel and then go into advanced Excel, I probably would have gained something. It's just an appeal. It's not to stop the class, not to stop whatever he's going to teach today. I will manage, I will try my best so I can catch up, but I still have that foundational problem, which I just said I should talk to you about. Personal thing, sorry, as I said, sorry to have bothered you guys with this, but it's a personal thing that I think that maybe you can solve for me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Huh?
I think
Sorry, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm actually done. I'm done.
Okay, I think you mentioned saying that you're hoping that today's session will help you understand the Excel better, right?
No, I actually said that. I said that I won't disrupt whatever is going on today, right? I will try to catch up with whatever is today. But I still have a challenge with the fundamentals, which I think I should put it at your door to say how you can you help us with that? Or help me with that if I'm the only one having that challenge.
And by fundamentals, you mean the regression?
Beyond regression, of course, we have not done regression in class. We hope to do regression, but building up from even conditional, whatever those probability, coming up from there, it's a real challenge for me.
I think it's talking about probabilities, using the doing probabilities, the Excel sheets.
Okay, sure. Let me call you. Let me call you much later. Let me call you much later. Let me talk about that.
And to master something, you actually need to put in the effort. So it is a serious commitment. So there is data analytics tools. You have Python, you have R, you have SQL. Under SQL, you have Microsoft SQL Server. The other Postgres, you have MongoDB, you have different applications. In fact, Microsoft also have different, but you need to find a way to learn a little about everything and then plan plan, be strategic in the way you plan mastering of them. And with that one, you'll be able to at least say you are an authority in that field. And there's also something they call 10,000 hours, according to this guy that came up with that theory. That I'm trying to next. I think I might need to restart my system. It's just to be connected very soon. So also note that I would also like to use this opportunity to share some things. The recordings of the previous lessons, which you can go back to. 1, 2, Google is our friend. Right now, there is almost virtually nothing you to learn that you cannot learn on Google.
You're breaking.
Hello?
You're breaking seriously.
I thought it was just me. We can't make out what you're saying at all. It's breaking.
Yeah, I actually thought it was my network as well.
Okay, just a minute. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, I was saying something about all the recordings we have so far. I think these things could be things we can refer to. Then also the fact that the internet, the Google is your friend slogan is true. There is nothing you want to know you won't find on Google. In fact, there are a lot of things you can, it's just for us to know how to get it out on Google, on the system. There is this thing nowadays, YouTube. YouTube is my very good place to go to learn a lot of things. There are trainings I've paid for, I've subscribed to, DataCamp, Coursera, Udemy. It's just, but it goes beyond just paying for it or having all those things available. You need to create time to actually sit down to learn these things, which I think this forum helps us to hold ourselves accountable to. Recently, I did something on ChatGPT. I just told ChatGPT to give me a detailed study guide to become a pro in Excel within 4 weeks. It gave me the breakdown. I extended it to 12 weeks. It broke it down further. I extended it to 6 months. It gave me, and I realized that if you want to learn Excel for the rest of your life, there will always be something to learn. So that speaks to that. I'm so sorry I'm taking our time this way, but I'm logging in now. I just connected now. Just connecting to Zoom now on my laptop. I actually finished from church late, and that's just one of the reasons. Then, meanwhile, I think I will share my worksheet with us. So if we also want to walk along, we'll be able to do at the same time. So let me do that. As I said, I'll be talking about our pivot tables. You'll see my screen soon. Pivot table. Which one is correct? Is it pivot or pivot?
Pivot.
I think all is correct. Potato.
It depends on you.
It's a matter of choice.
Hey!
Thank you, Daddy. Okay, good. Okay, good. I said I'll share something with us. Class worksheets. Please be calm. Take it easy with me, please. I didn't intend to keep us waiting. I respect our time so much, please. So, but it's good. We already discussed some salient things. So far, so good. I think the earlier person has been able to take us on functions. He's been able to talk about some things about conditional formatting. So formulas, especially formulas, functions, then if statements, then what again? What again did we discuss last week? If statements, what again? Okay. Yep. I'll be starting from, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. What does pivots do? A lot of things are crashing on my head. First of all, I would like to ask, have we heard of something called table and range? The difference between a table and a range before. It's possible for you to have data arranged on a worksheet, but there is a way you can convert that data to something they call table, and it will function differently from just having your data anyway. Let me give you an example. From what we see on my screen here, this thing you see here is a table. How do we know if it's something is a table? When you come to table design, you click on the entire selection, you can see in this place, the table name is there. Also, another way to know if something is a table, if you have a table on your worksheet, is when you look at this place on your screen. What do they call the name of this place? I'm sorry. Do you see where I'm referring to? Where you have this J6.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You can actually convert. Yeah. No, this place, this particular place where I clicked on just now. This place is a formula bar. This one is a formula bar, but this one, what's the name? Okay, name box. You can see it. It is a
name box.
Yeah. Now it's another thing in Excel called naming your cell or naming a range or converting a range to a table. It's possible for you to have the names of people in this class. Chinonye, who again can I see? Nicholas Anu Adekunle, Nicholas Anu spelling Anu Adekunle and Ayobami. It is possible, then I put names on top like this. It is possible for you to have these things like this, and you have them in a J4, J5, but it is possible for you to group them together and refer to them as a single entity, as if you bracket them. That is the word in mathematics. Put them in a bracket, put them in a container. So you can simply put these ones, as you have seen here, you can give it a name. I can say attendance. Can you see what I did just now? Attendance. So if I come to anywhere, I can just say attendance. I can call it up anywhere, and you see it will just come up for me. Can you see what I did?
Yes.
So, and there are instances where you need this kind of benefit, this kind of capability in Excel to make life easy for you. Now, another way of treating this thing is when you create a table out of what you have. The easiest way to create a table is Control-T. Just press Control, highlight. In fact, you don't need to select everything. Once you have a group of data in cells that are together, just click on any one of them and press Control-T. It will highlight the entire. Can you see what I did just now? Let me do it again. I only clicked on Nicholas and I press Control-T. Can you see what the system did? It immediately recognized all the data that are together as if they are one and asked me, where is the data for your table? Where is the data for your table? It already covered the range and it's now asking me another question. My table has headers. If I say yes, if I say it does not have header, it will create an extra header on top for it. So I'm saying it has header and it has created a table just for me like that. What is the name of the table? That is one good thing that we need to know, as in it gave it the name by default, table 8. Can you see it here on the left hand side under 5, table 8? You can come here and change name. You can say class members. Class members. Note something about the way I'm naming this table. It is, I decided to put an underscore between class and members. The name you use should be a single name. So it's either I don't allow a space between, or the generally acceptable style for handling it, creating a space, is using that underscore. I don't even know where that originated from, but I've adopted it, or somehow unconsciously it became part and parcel of me. So that is a table for you automatically. Then at times you may not like the way the table looks. It does not always have to look like this. You can come here and remove that filter button, because I always feel that why should table always have that filter? You have all those colors that I don't like. You can always remove it. You can adjust the way it looks and make it look normal. Nobody will know it is a table like this, but actually it is. You can remove, okay, all those banded something. Click on all this portion here, or you pick any of the table styles and you adjust it to the way you desire. Now, back to this data I have here. This data I'm highlighting here, it has about 3,000, how many rows? This thing is disturbing me. How do I hide it? Okay, good. Okay, this table you see here, I'm highlighting here, that is what we use for our first pivots. And I will use the opportunity to also take us to pivot, power pivots. And it's just a slight difference, but the capability, you will enjoy this. And I must confess, it's just knowing some salient things in Excel. It's just the difference between when you say you know elementary or you know Excel. You don't need to know every Excel. As today, I'm still learning a lot on Excel. Sports. Let us start from here. This data here, it is already a table format. If you go here, you will see the name of the table is sales. As you can see, I can come to another page. Let me see. I don't know if I put sales on another page, if it will work for me. Can you see? Can you see? It gave me options of existing tables with similar names. Can you see what it gave me?
Yes.
It just called it out automatically. Now, this thing is one of the benefits of Office 365. If you have any version below Office 365, I don't think it will work for you. So when I was saying it earlier, that is what I was referring to. Now, this table we're having here, it didn't bring out the header for me. Why? Why is the header not there? I'll come back to that. But quick word on pivot table. To create a pivot table is simple. Just go to insert. Are we together?
Yep.
I will share this worksheet afterwards. I have prepared it anyway earlier, but I think I will share it because afterwards. This is a pivot table and insert, and you see pivot table. Now, when you click on this drop down, it will ask you what option do you want. It's either you want to create a table from, you want to create the pivot from a table or range, you want to create it from external data source, or you want to create it from a data model. Now, when we talk about table or range, I think we understand the difference between a table and a range now. Am I on my own? If I'm going too fast, please call me back.
No, yes, we do.
We are together.
We are together.
Yeah. At times, I might be operating at the frequency that I might just be on my own. Please call me that we are still together. Please, please, I'm begging. I don't want to leave anybody out. So please.
Sorry, please. Can you please help share this Excel you have so that we can follow along as you do? In case we run into a problem, we will know real time.
Okay. I tried to edit some things on this. Let me quickly do that then, since you have requested. So
thank you.
Let me quickly do that. Since you requested for that, documents, sharing it now. Class worksheets. Okay. So we can all be on the same page. I've sent it. And that is one of the reasons I was talking about having two screens. You have your other monitor, you have one you can be using for Zoom, then you have the other monitor you'll be using to watch whatever you want to watch or whatever you want to practice. It makes it very easy to do. So the one I shared is class worksheet. That's the one I'm working on. I hope you have received it.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I'm working on is it this class worksheet I'm also working on? Just a minute. That's class worksheet. I changed everything to Naira. I'm surprised it's still showing dollar on my own on my own screen. I changed everything to Naira. Why is it still showing dollar on my own screen? Just a minute, please. I want to make sure we are on the same page. Okay. Oh, yes. I don't know why. Okay, all right, class worksheet. Okay, I think I'm there now. Are we together now? Can we see? I'm sharing my screen again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm using sample data 3.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Sample data 3. That is the one. I just said it before. It was dollar. I got the data from somewhere. It was dollar, and it had some Oyibo people's names. So I changed it to Nigerian names and did some stuff to make it something we can all work with. All right. I said all we have to do is to click on insert, highlight what you want, insert, go to pivot tables, and then from table or range. This thing automatically will pick the table you highlighted. If you want to pick something else, and that is why it is good to give names to your tables. You give names to your tables, you give names to your, in fact, there are some schools of thought that says that you must detail everything you do so that if you are not there, somebody else can come to your worksheet and navigate effortlessly. Don't do it as if I'm just doing calculation, I'm just writing this. No. So this is sales. The name of the table I have on sample data 3 is sales 1013, and asking me where I want to put the pivot. It's either I ask it to put on the new worksheet or I put it in the same worksheet. I usually prefer putting it on a separate worksheet because this worksheet is already crowded and I won't want to crowd it further. So I'll just go ahead and do that. But if I want it to be on the same worksheet, I'll click on it and then go and specify where exactly I want it to be on this worksheet. Where do you think we should put it? Where do you feel we should put it? Guys, let me check if we are together.
Let's take a new worksheet.
I'm thinking new worksheet.
All right, thank you. That's good. So I've created a data. Now on the pivot table, you have different fields. You have the filter field, you have the column field, you have the field for values, you have the one for rows. This is where it gets interesting. If you click on some things, there's a way the Excel engine will automatically direct your what to click on to wherever it feels. Most especially rows and value. This row and value, you can see my mouse. So if I click on product now, most likely it will put it under row C. I just click on it. Can you see what it did?
Yes.
I told you. If I click on amount, maybe the sales amount, we'll put it under values. Can you see?
Yep.
Because it is a figure, it is something you can work on, you can aggregate, you can find the average, you can play around with. It will put it under that category. Now, if you click on date, any other parameter, it's just like you are talking about Y and X. Y is the dependent variable. X is the
independent.
X independent. Y is the explain variable. Y X is the, what do you call it? The one you are using to explain another one. So if you click on dates, date will also most likely fall under rows. And those are the things. There's also okay, don't let me go to date now. Let me go to date now. So we just want to summarize the data we have. When you want to summarize data, a good thing for you is to first of all look at the data. What are you trying to achieve? This data has how many columns? We have salesperson, we have products, we have dates, we have sales, boxes, and expenses. It is possible for us to want to look at what is the difference between sales and expense. You understand?
Yes.
It is possible for you to look at what there are. I think there are 2 months in this report, 2 years, and each year has how many months each? Okay, 2 years, and December has only 1 month. That's it. 2021 has only 1 month. So in all, we have 13 months. It's possible for you to want to look at the trend of events. You may want to look at it on a day-by-day basis, or you want to look at it on a week-by-week basis, or month-on-month basis. Is our sales growing? Is it going up or coming down? You may want to look at it per person. You may want to look at it per product. You may want to look products, each product, and now look at each salesperson under each product. Or you want to look at each salesperson and each product under each salesperson. You may want to look at when different things, which month gives you the best sales, or which sales actually gives you the better profit margin. Those are the things we could look at. Now, the best thing I know Excel for is that it summarizes data. This data of 3,700 and something sales, you look at what, let us look at what we can get out of it. We click on salesperson. How many salesperson do we have? We have 20, what is it? 20, we have 25 salesperson. Now we may say, who has the highest sales? We just click on our sales here. And what can you see? For you to make this thing look presentable, sum of sales, you just click and go to number formats. Then you usually remove the zero, the decimal points, and put the separator in place. This is what we have. But it's not arranged. It is arranged according to alphabetical order. That is not what we are interested in. We are looking at who has the highest sale. In this case, your conditional formatting may come in when you want to know, I like the highest or I like the lowest. Or you may decide to plot a chart for each person. But here, I'm just interested in knowing who is the highest. I can right click here and say sort from largest to smallest. And what can we see? Onyinye Eke has the highest sales for the entire period. And that is over a period of the 13 months. And who again? Yewande Akindele. Well, that is one. We can decide to present a look at our sales instead of salesperson. What are the products? Which product has the highest? We remove the salesperson and we put the products. How many products do we have? We have 22 products. So, which product is our cash cow? Salt again, largest to smallest. 99 dark and pure. What is dark and pure? Chocolate or something. Good. You may want to put sales beside expenses. It is possible for you to make your data have all the parameters you can imagine. You come to number format again, remove the decimal, and put the comma separator. That is pivot table. I don't know if you are getting something. So I'm going to take it a step further now. I'll remove expense. I'm still interested in the sales. I want to look at the year, how this sales, how it trends over the years. What is it like? I'll also change it back to salesperson, remove products, years. Can you see what I did? Does it make any sense? Hello?
Yeah, with you.
Is it making any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm doing something more. Can you see? And I get this one out of the way. Can we make, hope it's not too small, hope it's not too tiny. I just want it to be able to show everything. Can we make any sense out of what we have here?
Sorry,
we
please,
like?
can you go over what you just did again?
Okay, good. If you observe the field, what I was using to play around with the pivot table disappeared from the right hand side. So for you to call it back, simply, why is this thing coming up like this? Simply come to pivot and pivot table analyze and click on this thing. They call field lists. Can you see field lists? This is what I'm playing around with. I'm playing with the years and the dates. The years and the dates. I may decide to, there is something on Excel that makes it automatically, when you are playing with dates, calendar dates, it has a way of grouping it into months, into years, into, you won't have that in your data, but once you go to Pivot, it automatically groups and categorizes it for you. And that is what I was I'm leveraging on here. Don't let me put it under columns now. Let me put it under rows. I will start again. This is where we started from, our sales. We just put it on pivots. Now, I want us to look at the trend across the period. Look at what I just did. I just picked date from here. I put it under rows. Can you see what this thing just did for me?
Yep.
It just gave me per year. But this per year, we don't have a basis for comparison. Even if you want to plot a graph, it will make sense because 2021 has just 1 month. We can't compare 1 month with 12 months in 2022. So I'm interested in the month distribution. In fact, I even gave it quarter. I'm not interested in quarter because what we have in 2021 is not up to a quarter. So I'm not interested in the quarter categorization. Let me show you what this thing is looking like on this left-hand side here. You can choose the way Excel presents this thing for you. So I'm not interested in the quarter here. I remove it. Can you see? It's still showing me month by month distribution. Now, from what I have here, I may decide that I don't even want month by month. I don't want to see that year because I just want to see the month on month just show continuously like that. Then another thing you can do in Excel, your presentation, you can decide to change the way the Excel does, the Power Pivot does the presentation for you by coming here to this place they call report layouts. Guess what I'm doing? You come to design, you click on your pivots, you click on design, and then you come to report layouts. Your report layout may be like this. It may be in compact form, as we had earlier, and it may be in tabular form, like this. Under this, you can also say that you want all the labels to be repeated, instead for you to just have just one cell here, field. You can say you want it all repeated,
and you want it all true. Now, this total that is showing here, total for 2021, total for 2022, you may not need it because we don't have any basis for comparing 2021 and 2022. Because 1 month in 2021 cannot be compared with 12 months in 2022. So you can come to your subtotal and say you don't want subtotal. Can you see what I did just now? Now, we can now play with this. We can easily plot a graph with this. And that's one thing about Power Pivot Table. You can easily convert it to charts. It is as simple as coming back to your, where is it? Is it insert? It's either insert or you come back to, is it this table analyze? Is it table analyze? Insert. Let me go to insert. There are different ways for killing a bear, doing a particular thing on Excel. So you come here, you can say you want it on a pivot chart. Can we see the recommendation it gave me? I didn't say this is what I wanted to do. It just gave me this recommendation. It's now up to me to either go for it or not. Are we together?
Yeah.
Yes.
So can we see what it has done now? Now, all those things we did on, I think I remember chart was extensively dealt with last week. You can play around this thing to actually make your presentation easy. And the interesting thing about use of table is that once you add something to your table, it automatically comes to your pivot table. Once you refresh, it automatically gets updated. You will need to do the same thing again and again. Like when you are working on a normal range or when you are working with just a normal data. It will example, let me just show you something. We have, what we have here? This Funke Adekunle. We can just bring her down. Control V, and we can put 2022 December and make the sales that she did. We can make the sales to be, let's make it 10,000 round figure. That would be easy for us to recognize. 10,000, just putting some unique figures there. Remember that when we were here, what was the total figure we had here? 21,701. Remember, 21,701. Now, all you need to do is either you come to data and click on refresh, or you right click on this table you have here, just right click anywhere on it and click on refresh, and you see. Remember, in December 2022, we have 3070. So before we refresh, after we refresh, what do we get? 3080. And automatically it has updated on our pivot chart as well. That makes it clear. Now, I want us to look at this table a little bit further. We want to look at each person, what each person did, or we want to change the way the table is presented. We talked about rows and columns. Remember, rows, we put the years and the date on the row, but I can decide to put it on the column. What will it look like? Are we going to appreciate that? No. Can we see? Does it make any sense? Which one would we prefer?
On the column.
On the column, this one.
On the rows.
On the row would be better.
Yes, I think so.
It depends on what you want to achieve. Actually, on my or at the back of my I've been thinking of looking at this thing beyond just month on month. I want to look at this thing. If you look at the chart we look, the trend was going up, and we could see that in December 2022, we had the highest. Am I right? We had the highest figure, the highest sales. So could it be somebody that actually contributed? Could it be a group of people? How do we do that? Or is it a particular product that actually contributed towards that? So let me now bring sales down to it. I'll put sales on this side. And then we can now look at it further. Already this thing is arranged according to. Now, according to your knowledge of conditional formatting, can we do some things to highlight maybe the top 10% of the sales contributors? The top 10% of which category? Which one should, how do we put it now? The top 10% on each. How do we go about that? I know some of us are very good with that conditional formatting. We're able to do a lot of coloring, painting, and all those things last week. Are we together?
Yeah, we're together.
Yes.
Yes. Can we borrow from your knowledge from your experience? Or maybe I should put our teacher on the spot to help us.
Are we looking at the entire sheet?
Yes,
or a particular month?
Okay, we can look at the particular month, yes. December especially. Who contributed most? That was also
we can look at the average of a month, look at the average, and then we decide to say figure above such figure number. For example, if the average is like 1,000, for instance, you can say we can now do a formatting that will say figures above this amount, color it, give it a different color or something like that.
Exactly, yes. How do we do that? Do we need to first of all calculate the average? The system can do it by itself, I think.
Yeah, okay. You can use highlights and then choose an average.
Okay, so what should I do now? Guide me.
Yeah, the average is already showing, okay? Okay.
Am I doing the right thing?
I think so.
We can do that. We can also come here and do, okay, this one, we need to do the calculation. We need to know what we want. But this one, we just use that statistical stuff and just let us know. Without even doing anything, he just went ahead and
I colored it.
and colored it for us. In the top 10%, can you see what it did? So these guys are performers for that particular month of December. Amarachi. But unfortunately, this Amarachi Eze is number 3. How come? Does it mean that the other months, this Amarachi did not perform that well? That Onyinye and Yewande Akindele. These are some of the things that a data analyst looks at, trend pattern, and this is what will help you inform your ability to predict, to forecast, to prevent, and to actually recommend what you think we can do to mitigate maybe a low volume. You can recommend, okay, at social period, the sales is likely to drop. We know Easter period, sales will go up. We know at Valentine period, sales will go up. But after then, there will be decline, everything will go down. Then we can just introduce something like promo, you know. You can now think of anything, come up with any of that, especially leveraging your domain knowledge. You have been practicing. This is the time we can use for maintenance. Sales will be, we can use it to revamp, to re-strategize, you know, all those things. That is the essence of what we are doing. We are not just doing this thing for just looking at figures. Like my boss used to tell me, at times I churn out figures. Even me, I know that the figures I churn out, this figure, the guy will not be able to do anything. And the painful thing is that you might spend hours preparing a particular report, and they'll just look at it within 5 minutes, and they will just not be able to make anything out of it. It should be as if you have wasted your time. If you cannot really deploy a solution or apply something, and make a recommendation or bring out something, either by painting a picture, drawing a graph, telling a story, then you have not done anything. So that's that about that. This is about pivot table. I hope we are getting it. I want to take it a bit further. On the chart I sent to us earlier, on the work on the sheet I sent to us, I sent something, I call it flat data. The work, what is it? The Excel sample I sent to you. I sent one of them, flat data.
Yes.
Yes. If you are following me, let us open that flat data. Let us work on it together. I'm driving somewhere. At the end of today, I want to believe that I will be able to walk around with pivot table very well, and our life will not remain the same again. Flat data. I'm going to stop sharing this one. I'll change to the next worksheet, which is flat data. This flat data is a bit more detailed than the one we worked with earlier. It has an additional column, column H and column I, which is theme and category. This one, the way I'm going to work on it is this. Okay, insert pivot table. Can you see it automatically picked the table by itself?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody observed that. It picked the table by itself. The last one we did it on a new worksheet. I'm going to put this one on this particular worksheet. I want to put it right beside what we are working on. And I'm going to do my play around with it. We know what we did before. We put dates on the rows, and we got rid of the quarters. So we have dates, and then we put the sales under values. Are we together? We change the format so to make our figures look more presentable. This is a refresher for those who missed out the first explanation. Then I also did something. I came to design. I changed the report layout. I made sure the year is repeated on all the cells. Then total, I said I don't want the subtotal. Are we together? Then I did something. I just put this here on the column field. Here is that. it has been able to help us trip off some things, clarify some things slightly. But this is not where I'm going. I want everything to be on the on dark columns. So it has presented it this way. Then there are some new fields which are team and boxes. Let me say something. When you are presenting data, when you have like the names of everybody in a class or the name of everybody in a particular organization, for you to make your data meaningful, it is good to summarize it and let people not look at how would they be comparing A, B, 25 different people. It's not easy. That's the reason you find ways of summarizing, put them into groups, put them into categories, put them into different to make it a bit easy. Can you imagine if you want to draw a pie chart and you put more than a part? That is just one thing about dashboards. When you're using pie chart, don't put variables that are more than 3 or 4 on a pie chart. Also on a bar chart, once you are having, except if necessary, once you are having more than 10, find a way to summarize it. Okay, back to business. We have team. I'll put team here. Is it making sense now? Is it making sense now?
Yeah.
So we have 4 teams. This same Excel, this same pivot, I can copy it, selecting copy, put it below like this. This one below, instead of having teams, I can have category. I'm drilling down to something to know where is our business, what is actually promoting our business. I will sort this one from highest to smallest, largest to smallest. This one is already sorted. So looking at it, bars seem to be contributing more to our sales revenue than anything. It's obvious, isn't it? Then Yummies, Team Yummies is contributing more. And Team Tempo is contributing the least. Are we making any sense out of this?
Yeah, it's giving us insight.
Giving you insight. Okay. While we are doing that, I want to introduce something small to help us understand something a little bit better. And that is one new something these guys introduced to Excel. They call it spark lines. This spark lines actually helps us, it helps me as a person to identify high points, low points easily. It makes it easy for me to be able to pinpoint some trends. It is like a chart, but it is a lot simpler than, it's just like a mini chart. Let me put it that way. So this is it. Data range. I want it here. And I want my high points, low points. So I just drag it down like this. I can do the same thing for this other place. I don't know, have we come across this spark line before? We can actually edit the spark line. We can change how the spark line, we can edit it, we can change the We can change what it looks like. I get it. Okay, sparkline. We can change it to this type, column type, or we can make it look like this. So either we use this one or the line type. Which one do you think actually brings out the message better?
Excuse me, can you please go back again on how you got to the sparkline? I got confused along the way.
Okay, sparkline is actually like a chart. You did chart last week, but sparkline is like mini charts. It is something that will be contained inside a particular cell. It helps you to see things. When you are looking at figures, especially a large set of figures, at times you may be looking at it and may not be able to see what you ought to see or make sense out of what you are seeing, because there is something about your eyes getting confused with seeing a lot of numbers. You get my point? But when you have the sparklines, it has a way of summarizing the data for you. Now, the same way we would do a graph, a chart, is the same way I do the sparkline. The only thing is that for sparkline, you just come into the cell, go to where is insert? Is it insert? How did I get here? Insert. Can you see sparkline under insert? It is right beside charts. You ask the question, are we together? Answer me, please.
Yes, I can see.
So you just click it like that. When you click on it, will ask you, what is the data you want to put together? What are the sets of data? And I just select from here to here. Can you see? I just did that. And it will put it in the particular cell I want it to be. And it gives me what I want. That's it. It has a way of exaggerating differences somehow, so you'll be able to observe it easily. So there are three different types of sparklines. You have the line, you have the column, and you have the win or loss one. That one that is easy for you to see positive, negative, to distinguish it easily for you. Now, so what I did here, I did line for the lower part, I did column for the upper part. That is just what I did now. And we can see from all the things we did, all of them have the last month as something that is very, okay, let me also ask it to highlight the low points. I want it to highlight the low points. Yes, so you can see it easily. Can you see it has highlighted the low points? And when is the low point here for the first group we are working with, Yummies? Their low point was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th month, that was in May, when they had the lowest sales. The lowest sales, yes. Then for Delish, their own was in August. So it actually makes it easy for us. And overall, it was August that had the lowest sales. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
The same pivot table, I'm copying it again, and I will now, looking at all the entire month is like too much data for me. I will make it a bit easy. I don't want to look at the whole year. I just want to compare the team. Who is the best performer? What, how did they perform? So I don't need the year. I don't need the dates. Same thing for the lower table. The lower pivot. I don't need the year. I don't need the dates. Can we make any sense out of this? This will take me to another function. I'm telling you, I'm introducing a lot of things to us, and I want us to ask questions. Please extract what's out of my mouth. Please extract it. If I want to teach, if we want to start teaching A for apple, B for ball, we will sleep here. We will sleep here. But if I'm going too fast, please call me back. I'll slow down. So I don't want to assume anything. Please bring me back. In fact, some people who think they know, when we ask or when we have to go back some things, we talk about some things that might not have been mentioned earlier. So, are we together?
Yeah.
All right, good. Next thing is we want to do a kind of drilling down. Looking at this chart below, we want to compare. Is either we put two things on the same, we make it look like a tabular stuff, columns. I'll now see. We put the team name on the column and we put the category of the products on the rows. So what are we trying to bring out? Yummies that seems to be the best. Are they really the best, or if they are actually the best only in a particular area, a particular product? There is this thing we did in school, LBS, where we talk about, where they do it in Francis, how to optimize operation research. I think linear regression or something like that. Linear regression or something. Operation where they use solver.
Linear programming.
They use linear programming. This is looking like it. So just without going to linear programming, looking at it, where is Yummies better? Should we give them more of this product to sell? Will they be able to handle it better? Or should they are just best overall? Can you imagine? Look at it. Or why are they actually the best? Do they have more people working with them? Maybe that's it. Do they have more people working with them in their team? So those are some of the questions we may ask. We'll be able to fish out from here. So looking at this, what can we see? It may not be easy to see anything, I must confess. It may not be easy. Look at our table. Note that the table we had before had stuff here, but this one had Yummies and bars and team and category. It is now important for us to also know how many things do we have under bars, how many products do we have under each category, how many salesperson do we have under each team. Am I eating some chords now? So this is where we are. It may not be easy to see it outrightly. I can add something to this category and may quickly add the products. Let us break it down further. Which product is the best seller? As I'm playing with this, I think I'm playing with it. I'm just playing around. I'm just trying to make us comfortable with it. If you are on your screen, I think you should also, if your system does not cooperate, please raise alarm now so we can all come to rescue. And me too. If there's something new for me to learn, I will be willing to. Are we together? Now I'm coming back here to this. To this. Can you see the way I'm copying? I'm moving my table around. It's because I want to do some additional stuff. I want to show something extra now. This is the same data we are looking at. And I want to put something they call slicer. I guess some of us would have come across what they call slicer before. Okay, no answer. I will explain what the slicer does. A slicer actually it makes your work a bit psychedelic, make it look a bit true. When you get to dashboarding, you will be able to play around, and it makes navigation easy. If you at times I present some, I have to do some, it gives you option of flexibility. At times you do a presentation, you do a report, and somebody will now ask you, can I see who is responsible for this? Why is this thing like this? Or they now say, what of a party? Why can't we separate this report for each team, for each group, for each product? Why can't we? And that thing used to pain me, because you have to go back, same process. But recently, when I started using slicers, it makes it easy. Fortunately, what Slicer will do, there is this filter option on Pivot that usually does that thing. We have one on here. Can you see the filter option? It allows you to select. Okay, you want to search for bars. Okay, this is only bars. You want to search for bytes. This is only bytes. You understand? This is like you are extracting something from what we have here in the former the table we had before. That is it tabular stuff? That one that looks like column, and it's something looking something like that. But here you are just trying to now from filter, this category, and I'll right click on it here. See what I'm doing. It gives me option when I right click here. Add a slide. This is what a slicer is. So when you are doing dashboard, you just put it beside it there. Yeah, every worry. Because these are the groups, these are the teams, these are the products. If you want to look for the if you want to look for only bars, if you want to look for only bars, you can do it this way. If you want to look for only what again? That's other category. Try to, I think I've been able to lay a good foundation on this. Then I'm going to any question? I just see this as if we are playing around with the subject. So, question.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, sir. Hello?
I'm here. Yes, I'm listening.
Go ahead.
Okay, sir. So can you repeat that slicer again? The process of the slicer. And your audio, in the last 2 minutes, I'm struggling to.
Okay, but is it better now?
Very well, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, slicer. Okay, let me just repeat the same one. I should use a different stuff to demonstrate it. Okay, let me use the same stuff here. Slicer. I delete it. I can delete it here. So we have other, you understand how we got this?
Yes, I do.
I don't need to repeat that one. Okay, good.
Sure,
So what
sure,
I was
fine.
just
Okay.
saying is that you can, when you are drilling down or when you are looking at, okay, let me look. When you are playing around with our report here, we have team on the column. That team pattern not true. We can decide to pick this team and put it under filter. Filtering, checking, like this is what you can't put this on your dashboard and send it to people and say, when you want to look at only click on so. Somebody who does not understand Power Pivot will not even know what you are asking them to click on. So
I think you are breaking up.
The network became a bit unstable. I think I saw it on my screen. Is it okay? It's okay now, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's better now.
So to have team as slicer, and that is what I'm putting here. We just added team as slicer here. Can you see what it did now?
Yes, I can see. I can see.
So how I did it, did you get it, or I should repeat it? It looks like magic.
No, I got it. I got it. It's clear for me.
Now this slicer, the way it is, you can do so much with this slicer of a thing. You can play around with it. The way it looks, the way it, you can connect it. Different things. For example, if you have a dashboard, you may have the expense table or expense graph chart. You may have the sales chart. You may overlap them or put them beside themselves. How to connect it. But let me also show you how we can just play around to adjust this slicer. You can make it to be in this format, have two of columns, have you don't change the color if you so wish. There is a setting for this is slicer settings. You can decide you want to change the color. You can decide to when let me pick this color. This one that has many colors. Can you see yellow? It will change. And one good thing about slicer is that you can select by just press Control. You can select more than one. You get? And it's the filter. It's also a filter. Just click on and talking about if you want the slicer to be able to control other things, other table, other pivot tables. This one, for example,
I'm struggling to hearing. I've not been hearing him for the past 1 minute plus now.
Yeah, Nicholas is having a feedback. Please, can you mute? Thank you.
Oh, this is infrastructure. My network is good. I'm using TN network. Unfortunately, this is the quality of service I'm getting. Is it better now? Is it better now?
It's better now, but I think it fluctuates. So it comes and then it goes. That's the challenge.
Okay, once it does that, please let me know. I actually pay you, of course. I think the data. Okay, yeah, I was talking about back to you be able to know which pivot table you are working on. That will take me back to clicking on it. This is pivot table 4. How many pivot tables do you have on the well, this pivot table 5. You understand?
Maybe we should have named them.
Hello?
We're really struggling to hear you now. I don't know. I don't know about others, but I really can't hear you any longer.
Yeah, I think it's same.
Let me do something. Is it? I think it's okay from here. I want to check speed tests to know of fast.com to see what is happening. Fast.com.
Maybe we should have named the tables so it would have been easier.
Table or pivot tables, you mean?
The pivot tables, yes.
Yes, that takes me back. You know, remember I mentioned it earlier that when you are working on a table, you should do it such that anybody can go to that your worksheet and navigate easily. So let us start from here. This is pivot table 2. There are nomenclatures for naming tables, cells, ranges, different things. For this one, we can say pivot sim period. Is that clear? This one is pivot category period. Are you referring to me? Pivot sim. You know why I named that one pivot? To make it very descriptive so you can easily understand what we are talking about. Then pivot detailed category. When I say detailed category, I mean that all the products under the category were actually included. Now, look at what I'm trying to do now. Right-clicking on my slicer, there's something they call report connection. Did you see? Can you see? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can see it.
Report connection. If you look at it, all the pivot tables we have here are listed. it is only connected to detailed category. I can decide to connect it to, which one should I connect it with again? I can try to connect it to all of them. And you see, of course, we can see this one and this one right now. So if I click on, can you see what happened? Can you see what happened? If I click on this and this, can you see? Delish and juices here, delish and juices here. If I had yummies, can you see? Are we good now? Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, good. 15 minutes. Can I quickly do power pivots? Okay, let me introduce power pivots to you. That will take me to using that normalized data I shared with you. Normalized data.
I have a question.
All right.
Is it possible to present a pivot table from data in multiple sheets within the same workbook?
That's where we're going now. Power pivot to answer that question.
Oh, okay.
It's as if you saw my, you read my mind. Okay, exactly, that's what we want to do now. Let me stop and share the new screen. You can open to that normalized data. There's one thing about normalized data, and that is what I would like to explain. There's something called data architecture. Don't look at me as if I'm a computer guru. I didn't do computer science. I didn't learn. I'm learning computer Excel just the way we're all together. And I think it's just a cumulative, or maybe because I started earlier than some of us here, maybe that's why. And so anybody can still catch up with me and overtake me, just like I've overtaken some people to somewhere along the line. Now, in data architecture, when data actually gets large, all these things we are playing with, we are just playing. That is why at times it is good to work with real data. And I promise you in 2 weeks' time, we will work with real data, only that I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish it in 2 weeks. When you have to work with real data, you talk about clean data, then you need to work as in, can you imagine this INEC results, even the PVC cards? Can you imagine the kind of database you would have been used to manage that? And from my own personal example, let me tell you something I do. I actually present a report of some KPIs in my office. And I was doing it religiously, and my boss was very well impressed. In fact, when my boss presents the reports at the regional level, when I take it regional level as an EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Sub-Saharan African countries, when my boss presents that report, it looks like, this is the kind of report we like. They now ask that I should be generating that same report for the entire EMEA, SSA region, Sub-Saharan Africa. And I did it. I was doing it month on month. It was good. Then somebody now recommended that, can't you just give us a cumulative report such that we'll be able to compare the trend year to date? Well, it sounds good. I'll just look at the report I did for January, add February, add March. By the time I got to April, my system started crashing. Excel could not contain more than 1 million and something rows. I started having serious difficulty. I increased my RAM. I did everything. In the office, I requested for extra RAM on my office laptop. And still I was having issues until I was able to understand the power of this thing they call data architecture. And the power in this tool they call Power Query. When you have to work with data remotely, the data is on your system, but you need to open it, load it on your system before you can actually manipulate or work on it. And that is what we are trying to work on here. The data I gave to you before, when we look at that flat data, if you compare it, it has an additional column, column H and I. And what does column H and I do? Column H and I, as each salesperson here belongs to a particular team. Then also each product here belongs to a particular category. And looking at that thing, if you have to replicate, it will just be like replication, because we all know that Raspberry Choco belongs to a particular category. Funke belongs to it. So why should we, every time we have to write Funke Adekunle, why should we always write the team Funke belongs to? Or when we are talking about the product, why should we always include? It makes that data redundant, repetitive. It takes space unnecessarily, which could have been saved. Space could be valuable when we are talking about gigabytes of space, terabytes of space. Space could be when you know, when people download internet information on data, you know what it means when you have to manage the size of your data. And that is where data architecture comes in. It is only the minimum the information that is required per time that you should have available or that you should load onto your system. And that is where Power Pivot comes in. It works with something they call relational database. Are we together? I hope I've not gotten to the next, to another realm. Eh?
No, we're together. Why would you?
We're together. Are you speaking for everybody or you're speaking for yourself?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me not speak for that.
Please, if you want me to slow down, you want me to repeat all those things that I said, please, I'm willing to. And I believe at the end of this explanation, we'll be able to see reason why why we can put data from different pages, we can put them together, information from different sources, and we can use them in the same pivots. The same thing we achieve with that flat table, we are going to achieve with this normalized data. Maybe when we go to Power Query, I'll be able to use as illustration to explain further. Look at what we have here. This is sales reports. Are we together? All right, this is product category. You can see that all those products, product category table, all those products we have here, all of them, Raspberry Choco, for example, is somewhere here. Raspberry Choco is falls under the category of bars. So we don't need to do VLOOKUP. We just keep this one the way it is. Then we also have another one. All the salespersons, they have a team that each of them belong to. And this is actually stated here. Now, when we are doing the pivots, remember that we talked about summarizing the report based on each salesperson looks a bit too detailed. It is not easy for somebody to go through, except when you want to narrow down. But If you look at it as a team, just 4 teams, it is easy to look at. But one thing you should note when you are working with table like this, different reports like this, is that there should be something at least that will connect them together. I repeat again, there should be at least something that will connect them together. The tables have a connection, they have a relationship. Look at this table. You have products. Here, you also have products. And all the products here are represented here. The only information, additional information that we don't have there is category. But because we have products, there is a tool they call VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP will automatically bring the information here, but here we are not using VLOOKUP. Similar thing for salesperson. We have salesperson here, we have person here, and their team. Their team is not on this sales data, but because it is here, the team is here, we can always call for it whenever we need it. And that will lead me to, let me first of all check that all these things are tables. This is sales 105. Let me change it to sales strictly. Table sales. This one is products. Let me name it as products strictly. This one is people. Let me name it as people. Are we good? Now, taking us to data. Look at my menu, data. We need to establish a relationship between these tables. Can we see where I am? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
So we will establish relationship. In fact, there's something they call auto detect. Okay, yeah, it's there, but it's not detecting anything. So we will try to detect, establish relationship between these tables. The first table we have here is, how should I connect it? There's something else I can do. Okay, we can connect it from here, manage relationship. We can create the relationship here. Then there's also another one you can do. This thing will take us to Power Pivot window. That one will give us, there's something they call schema, or will show us the diagram of the architectural description of those tables. And we can from there connect them easily. Am I sure it is there? Not added these things to the table, to the data model. That's why it won't be there. Let me come out from here. Just a minute, please. Don't give up on me yet. Oh, no. Okay, let me go through the first option I wanted to go through. I will connect, I will create relationship between them. And this is how to go about it. From data, you come to your data tools here. You click on this icon, data relationship, then you establish relationship. You click on new relationship, different tables, table sales. I connect it to, okay, table people. It is person here. I want to connect to table sales, and the connecting relationship will be what? Salesperson. Remember, I mentioned it. No. Am I on my own? Are we together? Salesperson
Yes,
and
sir, we're
person.
together.
We have person here. We have salesperson in the sales table, and because of that, they should be able to connect. That is done. Then we want to connect this product table to the sales table as well. So I will come to products. You understand? Then sales table. I will connect products. Can you see? They are connected now. This connection is very important, regardless whether they are on different worksheets. In fact, regardless whether they are on different workbooks. Did you hear me? You can establish relationship. And that will take us to this thing they call data model. What I was trying to show you before will now show here, that diagram of a thing. Can you see this diagram?
There's no diagram.
Not
You
yet.
said what?
Not
You
yet.
can't see.
Not
Oh,
yet.
okay. Okay. I think it's because I'm sharing. I'm only sharing.
You're only sharing the Excel sheet.
Okay, let me share my entire screen so you see everything I'm doing.
Also, can you please go through that connection again?
Do the connection again.
Wow.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see the picture. Okay.
Do we see? Does it make any sense? What does this mean?
Yeah, they are connected.
So when we say connected, what do we mean by connected?
No, I'm just seeing that the image, the picture is showing the connection between the different tables.
Okay, now if you see team, this salesperson is connected to salesperson here. That is that. And on this other side, product is connected to product here. I'm trying to see how I could make this thing very vivid. Well, very vivid. So you see the connection very well. Product to product. Can you see now? Can you see the that's what this is what I want to say. Can you see?
Okay.
It is
okay.
product
Yeah.
to product. Now from here, it is person to salesperson.
Salesperson.
Now these three tables will be working together as if they are one, just because of what we have done. So I will come out of this place, this data model of a place. They are separate tables, so we can now come to insert. Say we want to insert, and the thing will ask, what do you want to insert? We want to insert from the data model. Location, okay, please go to the next stop. And when you see, what do you see here on the data model? On the pivot table, you can see three different tables.
Yeah.
And the way it works, you will be able to pick them as if they are one. You pick data from A, you go and match it with another thing from B, and you'll just be navigating, playing around as if you don't send anybody. So normally, if you look at our sales report, we don't have team, the name of the team there. So let us first of all pick sales figure. And what we have here is salesperson. No, sorry. What we have here is salesperson. These are the salesperson. But we want to know the team each person belongs to. I'm formatting my number to look presentable. So this, I'm leaving this one. I'll now go to another table entirely, though connected. I'll now bring it here. Can you see? Then we can now come to this place to do our report layout, to do the arrangement in such a way that, can you see? You might as well just make it a slicer instead of putting it on the row column here. You can just make a slicer, put a slicer, and say, I want to see only the teams. I want to see only the teams in. How many people are in all of this? 20, what of them? They are supposed to be 25. Yeah. So you can see everything now. So I can decide that I only want to see the team from Delish. Can you see? I'm using the information on that table that has salesperson and their team to control the information on the sales table. So is it a convenient place to stop today, or you want me to, to come again and explain something?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can explain the connection part.
You said what?
Can you please explain the connection? We explain the connection part again. How you connected to the different tables.
Connecting to the different tables. Okay. Going back. Everybody, are we okay? This is past 3. How many minutes can we shoot beyond 3?
Okay, let's just look at the table connection, and then we can end it for today. If I'm able to go to the table connection.
All right.
That's what I think.
Most important is that we gain something very important. Okay, good. I hope we know how these ones, we understand the issue of table. Table should be named. Table data should be captured in form of tables. That one is clear.
Yeah.
Abi?
Yes.
Very clear.
So for the fact that we have this thing, look at this table. How many columns does it have? How many rows does it have? It has 3,791 rows. Then these products, they belong to categories. Remember, when we are looking at the flash sheets, flash data, let me explain something I did. This thing, what I did was I had that normalized data. That was what I had. But what I did was go and do VLOOKUP. You get? Look for Funke Adekunle under the team and did VLOOKUP and populated this column. I did the same thing under this column. I populated this one. I VLOOKUP Raspberry Choco. I hope you understand what VLOOKUP is. I'm not speaking another language. Hello.
Let's assume that we understand, sir.
Okay, VLOOKUP. We can look at it at another day. Okay, so I now had to combine all those data and now had to add the information to this column. This information could be redundant because we can do without it. We can call for it when we need it. But if we have to repeat all this data for millions of data, millions of rows, it will not be a good way of using our memory space. Or when you are downloading data on the net, or when you are working with a large data, you have to make sure that you only have the required information. The ones you can do without, you can put them on one side. That takes us back to when we were in school, in the university. Most of the time, they ask you to use your matric number. There's a database where once they put your matric number, it will bring out everything about you, your first name, your surname. Then it will also be linked to something that can bring out your academic records for each year. It will be linked to another record that will bring out your results that you used to get admission into the university. So all those things are otherwise, you'll be surprised that if they want to write result sheet for a particular exam, they will have to write matric number, first name, surname, a class, level, department, and it will put a lot of redundant data. But because of this relationship data architecture, which makes it easy to establish relationship, once they have the matric number, it will be on record that you sat for a particular exam. Once they have your matric number, they can pull out your name, they can pull out your department, they can pull out any group you belong to. And that is what this relationship stuff is doing for us. Now I go back to my normalized data. I would like us to do something, data normalization. Search for it on either Google, YouTube, or ChatGPT, and try to get an understanding of what it is about. Yeah. Let me unhide. Okay, what we are doing here, come to data to establish connections. Come to data. Under data, there's this relationship icon here. Can you see it? Hello.
Yes, sir, we're with you, sir.
Yes, yes, we can see.
This relationship icon, you just click on it. And from there, you can establish new relationship. Because I've already established relationship, I can just click on edit. I can click on edit, and you can see how we did it. There's something they call one-to-many mapping. For most of us who did mathematics, mapping. That is just what happens here. You have the record, you have it once reported on a particular report. So you can now use it to a place where it should be replicated. You don't need to replicate it already on the normal facts table. So we have this one, table sales data model. Different tables will show here. We have 3 tables in this worksheet: sales, people, and products. People, product, and sales. Then when you pick sales, which of the columns do you want to use to map to the other table you want to connect with? We want to use, under sales, we want to use products to map to product on the product table. Am I making sense?
Okay, on the table where that product is domiciled.
Yes. So you can see the 2 of them are product, but this one have sales, this one is product, this one is sales table, this is product table. But the 2 of them are products column and product column. You get? So that is what they will use to connect with themselves. And the data will be working as if they are one. But also note something, on the second relationship we establish, this one has salesperson, this one has salesperson. It simply means that the column name doesn't have to be the same thing.
Okay.
The column name doesn't have to be the same thing. What is important is the contents of the column name. Let me also point out the fact, this thing we are discussing here, when you get to SQL, you come across it. They call it join under SQL. When you go to Python, you come across this same thing. In as much as we are working with data from different tables, you have to understand this. So this is the easiest and the simplest way of you getting it understood. So if it's not clear now, let us repeat again and again. So it is under this sales table that we are also picking people, connecting people table, but people table, it is a person. Mind you, what we want to get from that people table is person and the salesperson and the team they belong to. Remember? Whereas the sales table is just the general table containing, but we want to minimize the information we have there. That is why we put it like that. For example, you can think of LBS. LBS has admissions data for everybody. Your name, your name could be your first name, your surname, your email address. They will give you matric number. They will give you what again would they give you? Every other thing about you, where you work, they have it in admissions. Now each lecturer asks your matric number. They don't need more than that. And the course you are registering for. They will have the course, they have the matric number, and they now have the course, maybe participation, class participation, take-home assignments, exam. They have all that record and submission. So then you also have another lecturer having similar thing. Now, when they want to collect your results, it is just having all those tables containing those information separately. You can link them together and generate just a single pivot that will give you your results in all the exams you have done in LPS. Does it make sense?
Clear.
Oh, good. So that is just what this thing is trying to do. Except for this sales table to contain too much information, you just have the required information. But when we are doing the back-end analysis, we can work around it and achieve whatever we want to achieve. That brings
Okay, so the question now is, what if it's from another workbook or another worksheet? How do you now locate the particular table you require from a different worksheet or from a different workbook?
I think the table name will suffice. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but what comes to my mind is the name of the table will always show. And then if you reference that table, if the data is needed, that's what I think. I don't know yet, but
no,
that comes to my mind.
I mean, you have a table in workbook A, and you want to establish a relationship between that table and another table in workbook B, which is saved in a different file name. How then do you connect both together?
Should I use that one to whet your appetite?
Please do.
We would use it in conjunction with that tool they call Power Query. Power Query is very powerful. In fact, it is the next brother to Power BI. Once you know Power Query very well, you can navigate up to 60–70% of Power BI application. So indirectly, we are going beyond Excel. But at this junction, I would like us to let me leave that one till next week, because we are talking Power Query next week. We will do justice to that one. Play around with any workbook, save it anywhere. You will download information on the internet, like your stock report, that is not even on your Excel. You will have your own portfolio. You'll be connecting it with the NSC report that will be updating the price per time, and you'll be able to value your work per time. Are you getting my point? don't let me whet your appetite too much. Let me leave now. I don't want to I don't want to go there now. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we can.
Yes, sir. I think we're okay.
Good. Thank you so much. So I just want somebody to, if somebody can just do something briefly. We have salesperson. Can we have this pivot table, similar one? I want to do it. Don't let me ask somebody to do it. Let me quickly do it. I want to do it for this pivot table, similar pivot table. I want to create, or let me copy this one. I want to put products here, product category instead of salesperson. How do I go about it? And then put a dash, a slicer for product. Okay, products. Then I'll put a slicer for category beside it. Then I'll now put a timeline for the date. So you can see the range of time period for the sales. What should I do? I remove salesperson. I put what? Products. Abby? Now, I would like to disconnect. Okay. Okay, what's happening here? Why is this not cooperating? But because it's already, yeah, it's already a pivot table. Pivot table, there, make space and try again. Oh, let me also say something. This thing I'm doing, I'm showing you now, it has cost me. I will leave here in the next 3 minutes. It has caused me so serious problem before. I told you I had to do a report for, I was doing a report for Nigeria. I have to do it for Africa at a point in time. One day, I did this kind of filter. I now put another table under what I have filtered. Are you understand? Are you getting my point? I put another table under it. So I now ask the system to automatically expand or to remove the filter. The thing refused to work. And I sweated. I was really disturbed. The issue is that if this thing is going to expand, it will go down. This new pivot table I put below is going to disturb it. The point. So the system refused to answer me because there's an obstruction below it. You saw what happened just now. I was trying to clear this filter on slicer. It didn't work. But now it will work. Are we together? So now, for this one, I'll put another slicer. It's a lesson point. When you play, apart from somebody teaching, when you play, you just encounter some problem that will make life almost unbearable, but it is part of life. Then I'm now going to put category as slicer. Remember how to do put category as slicer. These are the categories. And I would like to adjust this slicer to have 3 columns. So it can look together, it can be together on up there and make it look a bit cute. That's that about that. Then I also mentioned something. You people did as if you didn't hear me, Abby. I know that is how students behave. I'm also a student. So timeline. Can you see what timeline is? It is also like a slicer. I mentioned, you didn't ask me to repeat myself. If I like, I would just have kept quiet. So can you see? This is timeline. So if you want to look at the range of period, you can just pick January to December, and that is the information you have. Can you see? Only for that period. If you want to extend it, it will give you the figures. If you want this thing to be on quarterly basis, it will give you the information on quarterly basis. We'll summarize it for you on quarterly basis. Quarter 2, quarter 1, quarter 4 for 2021. That's that about it. And also note that this first slicer we created is connected to the second pivot table, but this second one is not connected to the first one. Let me stop there. I don't want to go beyond the time. Thank you very much, everybody, for tolerating me today. And I'm sorry for taking your time for the first 25 minutes of today. You just maybe free formats, but I hope next week we'll start right on time. Power Query, on with your questions, on with your problems. I want you to imagine wide based on how I have described some of those things to you. And we'll be able to have a nice time together. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate you taking out the time to teach us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I guess that'll be all.
Please, can you share these files as well?
The one I worked on already?
Yes, yes.
Okay, the one we just did. Okay, after I've worked on it.
After you've worked on them, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That's the way it is. I will share. I'm not doing any extra work on it.
Sure.
Okay, all right. No problem. I'll do just that. Thank you, everybody.